Welcome to Tomas on Air. I'm Tomas. Today we're diving into an important issue that has affected many lives. The storm hit. Strong winds swept through, floodwaters rose, and power outages occurred. But behind every disaster lies one essential question. How did the Philippine government respond to the impacts of Typhoon Crising and the habagat that struck multiple regions? And what steps were taken to ensure swift response? Under President Bongbong Marcos's leadership, disaster response has become more proactive and coordinated. Let's examine the facts together. Because here, we speak with data, verified reports, and the voice of the people. Typhoon Crising may not have been categorized as a super typhoon, but its impact was significant. This time, Crising and the habagat brought continuous extreme rainfall lasting for more than 72 hours. The result, widespread flooding, landslides, and mass evacuations across multiple provinces. From Luzon to Visayas, hundreds of families were forced to leave their homes. Schools were suspended, roads submerged, and logistics delayed. So what exactly happened when Crising struck? According to data from PAGASA and the Office of Civil Defense, thousands of residents were affected. Heavy rains and flooding hit areas such as Adams, Vigan, and Paniki. In central Luzon, provinces like Pampanga and Zambales recorded more than 300 mm of rainfall in a single day. Schools closed, transport was disrupted, and public safety was at risk. The government's prompt initial response served as a critical support system in the early days of the crisis. One of the most essential needs after a storm is electricity. Imagine evacuating at night without any light, no phone charge, no access to news or emergency alerts. Without power, recovery slows, sometimes halts. Restoring electricity is not only a technical challenge, but also a test of urgency and government presence. So how did the government address this? Through collaboration between distribution firms and electric cooperatives, the government was able to restore the majority of the affected power lines. However, some remote areas still face outages, and repair efforts continue. Monitoring continues to ensure fair and efficient restoration. President Bongbong Marcos underscored that access to energy is part of building resilience after disasters. Power is critical, but hunger and clean water can't wait either. Food, drinking water, and basic supplies must reach affected communities quickly and efficiently. But response isn't only about quantity, it's also about speed and coverage. So how fast did the aid arrive? Was it distributed fairly? And who has received it? The Department of Social Welfare and Development took the lead in distributing emergency relief. Aid has reached several areas, including Adams, Vigan, Negros Occidental, Paniki, Cabuyao, and Cavite. The assistance includes food packs, hygiene kits, and other essential goods. In Vigan, residents helped clear debris and delivered food to neighbors still waiting for support. So far, about PHP 45 million worth of aid has been distributed, with another PHP 2.9 billion in standby funds. These actions reflect President Bongbong Marcos's commitment not just to giving instructions, but to ensuring their implementation. He even visited distribution sites to ensure no one was left behind. Disasters happen in seconds. Beyond the delivery of relief goods, early warnings play a vital role in saving lives. Weather alerts can prevent thousands of casualties. But disaster response isn't the job of one agency alone. So how well did agencies coordinate this time? And did the public receive accurate and timely information? President Bongbong Marcos directed a swift response on the ground. Agencies including DSWD, OCD, local governments, and DepEd mobilized their teams. Personnel from AFP and PNP also helped reach hard-hit areas. The government continued to encourage the public to monitor weather warnings and follow evacuation orders. The Maging Alerto campaign became a core part of the communication strategy, closely monitored by the Presidential Communications Office. Cross-sector coordination, led by President Bongbong Marcos himself, showed how clear leadership shapes effective national response. Although Typhoon Crising has passed, threats still remain. The habagat continues to bring rain. Over the next 24 hours, The risk of flooding and landslides remains high. The disaster may have passed, but its effects still linger. Public awareness now becomes the last line of defense. So what should people be prepared for next?
Mga family food packs na idinidispatch po from our production. Ang ating pong National Resource Logistics Management Bureau ay nakapaghanda na ng mahigit 3 million family food packs at ito ay strategically prepositioned across the country. Meron tayo more than 900 ng mga warehouses, close to 1,000 na po iyan ng mga warehouses at naglalaman na po iyan ng ating mga family food packs and non-food items. Again, we have more than 3 million family food packs. More than 300,000 are here at the National Resource Operations Center and the rest nasa iba't ibang rehiyon na po namin yan. And then, aside from the family food packs, of course, meron din tayo mga non-food items na nakaka-preposition na rin sa iba't ibang lugar sa ating pong bansa. Gayon din, yung ready-to-eat food packs na nailagay na rin sa ating mga warehouses and sa mga major and clinical ports around the country. Actually, before pa man po dumating si Bagyong Crising, ay nakahanda na talaga.
The habagat is expected to bring more rainfall until July 27. Early warnings for floods and landslides remain in place. The government urges the public to stay alert, monitor 24-hour rainfall forecasts, and follow local government advisories. President Bongbong Marcos again emphasized that public safety is the top priority, with all sectors directed to remain on high alert until the situation stabilizes. Disasters may be unavoidable, but our response determines whether we simply survive or recover stronger. Stay updated with official weather reports, support government recovery efforts, and acknowledge the leadership of President Bongbong Marcos, who prioritized speed, coordination, and clarity in the face of crisis. Behind every aid package is a coordinated effort that may not be seen on camera, but is deeply felt by those who receive it. If you've ever received aid or volunteered during a disaster, share your story in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe to help us highlight the stories that often go unseen. I'm Tomas, and this was the story behind Typhoon Crising. See you in the next episode only on Tomas On Air. Stay alert, Pilipinas!